Everyone thinks Alpharetta and Milton are Atlanta's rich spots, but the real old money has been hiding since the 1920s in places you'd never guess. I'm talking about century-old estates worth $5 million plus, built by Coca-Cola heirs and Fortune 500 execs. I've been in Atlanta real estate for over 20 years, and these neighborhoods are like nothing I've ever seen. If you care about luxury and privacy, this video is for you. First, let me explain the difference between Atlanta's old money and new money. It's huge, and you can see it in both where people live and how they think. Old money in Atlanta comes from families whose fortunes were built in the early 1900s through things like Coca-Cola, cotton brokerage, and banking. They created generational wealth and built the city's most prestigious neighborhoods. These families value discretion, historic architecture, and taking care of their community over flashy displays. You won't see them posting mansion tours online. Their approach to wealth is quieter and focused on preservation and legacy. New money usually heads to the newer suburbs. These areas have great amenities and top schools, but they don't have the history or architectural significance that old money neighborhoods do. And stick around, because later I'm going to show you exactly which new money suburbs that I'm talking about. But here's the cool part about the cultural differences. New money communities have modern McMansions on smaller lot builds in the last 20 years or so. Old money neighborhoods show off century-old estates on huge grounds designed by famous architects whose work is still studied today. So what makes old money different is the focus on legacy, history, and keeping wealth in the family. These families didn't just build homes, they created landmarks preserved for almost a century, telling Atlanta's story to future generations. Some of these homes even have names like the Windcroft, Villa Juanita, and Belmond. They're more than addresses. They're estates with stories that show their status as historic properties, not just places to live. Drive through these neighborhoods and you're seeing pieces of Atlanta's founding story preserved in brick and stone. All right, let's get into the neighborhoods where Atlanta's old money really hides. Tuxedo Park is one of Atlanta's most prestigious neighborhoods, known as the city's ultimate old money enclave and Buckhead's crown jewel. So when people think of Atlanta's wealth and prestige, this is the place that comes to mind. The story starts in 1911 when Charles H. Black Sr. had the idea to create Atlanta's first automobile-centered suburban subdivision, which was revolutionary back then. Now, the mansions from the 1920s and 30s in Tuxedo Park show some of Atlanta's finest architecture. Black made something special with large lots on curvy streets that followed the natural landscape. He designed the lots to be deeper than they were wide, so homes wouldn't sit too close to the street. And this planning created the park-like feel the neighborhood still has today. From the start, Tuxedo Park was home to Coca-Cola heirs, political families, and Fortune 500 executives. We're talking about Robert Woodruff, former chairman of the Coca-Cola Company, Bobby Jones, the legendary golfer, and many Atlanta mayors and business leaders. And today's residents include Fortune 500 execs who love the mix of historic prestige and modern luxury. The architecture is breathtaking when you drive through. You'll see classic Georgian, Tudor, and Mediterranean styles that reflect the tastes of Atlanta's early elite. And if this impresses you, just wait until you see the area I've got at the very top of my list. Trust me, it is worth the wait. Now, these homes were designed by top architects like Philip Trammell-Schuetze, I hope I'm saying that right, Neil Reed, hence Reed and Adler. These weren't just architects, they were artists who created homes that fit the natural beauty of the area. The neighborhood has elegant homes in Georgian, Tudor, Italian, and Greek Revival styles, sitting on big lots, which adds to its exclusive feel. But Tuxedo Park is still extremely exclusive. The median listing price was $5.2 million in August 2025, with homes ranging from $330,000 to $8.8 million. The average home sits on 7,100 square feet with an average sale price of $4 million. And properties sell for about $552 per square foot, showing the premium on historic location. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. The prestige does not stop with Tuxedo Park. It extends across an entire corridor of wealth and history. West Paces Ferry Road is known as a historic estate corridor lined with some of the city's oldest wealth. The road story goes all the way back to the 1820s when Hardy Pace ran a ferry service where Peachtree Creek meets the Chattahoochee River, which is how the area got its name. The corridor includes the Governor's Mansion, built in 1967 in Greek Revival style. Having the Governor's Mansion on West Paces Ferry Road shows why this street is seen as the ultimate power address in Atlanta. For decades, West Paces Ferry Road has been a symbol of prestige and exclusivity. There are still 23 original estate homes along the corridor from Atlanta History Center almost to Interstate 75. And these homes are the work of some of the best architectural firms of the early 1900s in Atlanta, including George Totten Jr. and Pringle and Smith. The median listing price on West Paces Ferry Road hit $2 million in August 2025, which is up 33.9% compared to last year. But speaking of Southern elegance, let me tell you about a neighborhood that shows off Atlanta like nothing else. Haynes Manor represents old Southern estates with deep family roots. It was developed in 1925 on 190 acres by Eugene Van Valkenburg Haynes, another name I hope I said okay, a well-known Whitehall jeweler who later became a real estate developer. Haynes saw the neighborhood as an address of social distinction, just 1 mile outside Atlanta's city limits. The area is known for its stately homes and classic Southern architecture, with Belmond as one of its highlights. Built in 1929 as one of the first 4 homes in Haynes Manor, Belmond shows off the Georgian style that defines the neighborhood. And over the years, the estate has been carefully restored to its original grandeur, with special attention to the landscaping. Haynes Manor homes are often called a storybook version of old Atlanta, featuring Tudor and neo-Gothic styles that were popular in the 1920s. The Manor House in Haynes Manor, also built in the 1920s, stands out with its Tudor and neo-Gothic design, complete with an Ashford granite facade, Vermont limestone window seals, and a slate roof. The neighborhood's layout follows the natural landscape, with traditional manor houses paced along the rolling terrain of Peachtree Battle Avenue and the streets that wind through it. Current listings range from around $1.8 million to $5.4 million, with most properties going for more than $2 million. The area also benefits from being close to Atlanta Memorial Park and Bobby Jones Golf Course, both built on land donated by Haynes himself. Now here's where it gets really interesting when we compare these historic enclaves to the places where new money usually settles. The cultural and architectural differences between old money and new money neighborhoods in Atlanta are really hard to miss. Alpharetta, Milton, and Johns Creek are new money communities that, while wealthy, they don't have the history or architectural significance of old money areas. Alpharetta has grown fast, which led to a denser population and more urban development, with a focus on tech companies and modern amenities. The area has a wider mix of housing types and prices, including more townhomes and redevelopment projects. But it doesn't have the estate-style properties you find in historic Buckhead. Johns Creek has a mature, established community feel, but in newer developments rather than historic estates. It's known for luxury neighborhoods with modern construction, not the century-old masterpieces you see in places like Tuxedo Park. Even midtown condos, while giving people luxury urban living, take a very different approach to showing wealth. These high-rise towers attract young professionals who want modern amenities and walkable city lifestyles, which is nothing like the estate living and generational focus that old money families value. So the lifestyle differences are big. New money communities focus on modern conveniences, new architecture, and suburban perks like shopping centers and chain restaurants. Old money neighborhoods care about preserving architecture history, and quiet luxury. Atlanta's old money neighborhoods still pull in premium prices and attract buyers for a few key reasons. You're not just looking at real estate here. You're seeing how real wealth builds legacies that last for generations. And these homes are pieces of American history that people can actually call home. If you're ready to check out these exclusive old money neighborhoods and want to see what's on the Atlanta market right now, well, let's talk before these rare chances are gone. Homes here don't come up for sale often. And when they do, they sell fast to buyers who know their true value. So reach out today at stephanie.patterson@wholeteamrealestate.com to get started. And before you go, if you love luxury real estate, click on this next video. You won't believe what I found when I went behind the gates of the top 5 country club communities north of the city. Make sure to watch to see which one landed in the #1 spot and why it left me speechless. I'll see you there.